Shortages of ammunition, barren store shelves, and prices through the roof. If you've been in the gun-owning community over the past few years, you've seen it firsthand. But now, the government has just signed off on billions to reshape the landscape. So what does that mean for folks like you and me? More affordable rounds, stocked shelves, and a bolstered shooting culture. Today, we're diving into how this new bill might transform how Americans buy and train with ammunition. And believe me, the civilian market is set to feel the ripple effects. I've noticed plenty of talk about this new defense bill that got through earlier this month. Folks are calling it a landmark for modernizing national security and whatnot. That might hold true, but buried within the details is a section that's slipping under the radar for most people. If you're someone who purchases ammo, prepares for range time, or follows the civilian supply chain, this aspect should grab your attention. Separate. This is a genuine piece of legislation that got signed in early July 2025, just before Independence Day. And that timing's no accident. This bill stands as one of the largest defense spending packages we've seen in recent memory. Inside Title 18, specifically within the part labeled Title 3, there's wording about small and medium caliber ammunition. Once you strip it down, the message is straightforward. Get set for a surge in production that spills over into the civilian market. Let's break down the figures. $100 million is targeted directly at boosting 5.56 NATO and 7.62 NATO. Both these calibers are essential to military platforms and just as favored by civilians. The common belief might be that it all goes to military stockpiles, but that's not the full picture. The Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, which is a big production hub, sends a significant portion of its output straight to the civilian market. We're talking hundreds of millions of rounds every single year. Historically, nearly half of its small arms production goes to private hands, and that's on purpose. Civilian sales aren't just supplementary, they keep the entire operation steady, especially when the country's not in active combat. That balance goes back decades. After the Vietnam War and leading into the Gulf War, the Army's ammo facilities were deteriorating. Civilian contracts helped keep the doors open and the machines running. That practice hasn't changed. It's why today, whenever Congress invests money into production, civilian shooters feel the impact too. Now take a look at this. $1 billion is being invested in next-generation ammunition production facilities. That's not just a new roof or fresh coat of paint. That's automation, cleaner systems, modern assembly lines. The aim is 21st century ammunition production. More speed, more efficiency, less waste. That benefits the military first, but every improvement trickles down to the rest of us. And here's the part that might matter the most. $2 billion set aside for raw materials. Primers, brass, powder, the core of every cartridge. If you recall the 2020 shortage, you already know why this is significant. It wasn't merely panic buying, it was a breakdown in the supply chain. Companies couldn't get primers on time. Brass was delayed. Powder shipments slowed to a crawl. And because so much came from overseas, once borders tightened, factories sat idle, money in hand, but nothing to load. This bill is structured to tackle that weak spot. If you've got machines and skilled workers but lack components, production stalls. This $2 billion acts like insurance, building a buffer into the supply chain so the system doesn't buckle the next time demand spikes. Be it politics, economics, or just another surge of new gun owners, the goal is to avoid another choke point. Don't overlook the $10 million allocated for expanding the workforce. That number may look small compared to billions, but it's vital. You can construct factories. You can stockpile materials, but someone has to run the lines. Engineers, operators, quality control. Lake City and other plants already have now hiring signs on their fences. This funding helps fill those gaps and keeps output steady. So when you look at the full package, $100 million for small calibers, $1 billion for modernization, $2 billion for raw materials, $10 million for labor. You're seeing a coordinated effort to supercharge production. The language in the bill mentions defense readiness, but history suggests civilians will experience this benefit too. Let's talk impact. If you've bought ammo in the last 5 years, you're already familiar with the roller coaster. Prices spiking, shelves bare, 9mm and 5.56 disappearing overnight. Local shops struggling to keep inventory. This investment flips that script. More supply means lower costs. Consistency. Shops, ranges, Even small security outfits won't be scrambling for supplies. New gun owners gain access to affordable training ammo. And when ammo is affordable, folks train more. They attend classes, they shoot more often, they build skill and confidence. That's not just sound economics, it's public safety. Ammo availability is directly tied to your rights. Owning a firearm is one thing. Being able to feed it, train with it, and trust your proficiency. That's the real deal. When the supply dwindles, folks compromise, and confidence fades. This bill is structured to stop that collapse. There's also a larger theme here. This isn't solely about the shooting community. It's part of a broader push to bring production back to American soil. For decades, America shifted key industries overseas. The pandemic showed us how fragile that really was. Ammunition became a perfect example of that vulnerability. And now, in 2025, the shift is clear. Rebuild the foundation at home. Civilian shooters just happen to benefit along the way. And take note of the symbolism. Unveiling this bill right before the 4th of July wasn't by accident. Ammo, for many Americans, represents more than just brass and powder. It's about training, responsibility, being prepared, not paranoid, freedom. The freedom to stay capable and ready. That's why this isn't just another line item in the budget. When half of government-affiliated small arms production eventually reaches the civilian market, every tax dollar invested ripples into homes, hunting camps, competitions, and classrooms. Even if you're not a regular shooter, the ecosystem around you, prices, training, education, safety programs, all depend on production capacity. Reliable ammo keeps the culture of responsible ownership alive. Youth clubs, veteran training, range communities, they thrive on access. So yes, this is positive news for civilians, not just because it keeps shelves stocked, but because it stabilizes the market, secures infrastructure, and allows the average gun owner to walk into a shop and buy a box of 5.56 without cringing at the price tag. It's the part of the bill nobody's really discussing, but it could end up being the most significant. If you found this breakdown useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how ammo availability has impacted your training over these past years. So, what are your thoughts? Will this investment finally bring stability to the ammo landscape, or are we looking at just another short-term solution? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, share it with your shooting buddies, and subscribe for more in-depth looks into firearms, ammo, and the culture of rights and responsibility that keeps us capable. Stay safe, train smart, and always keep your powder dry.